If you are serious about color grading, this might be one of the most important videos for you to watch. Why? Because I am finally breaking down what confuses almost everyone. Should you use color management or should you stick with the CST note workflow? I get these questions all the time. Which one is better? What's easier for beginners? Why do some colorists swear by CST while others always go with RCM? So in this video, I am breaking it all down clearly, simply, and once and for all. Let's get into it. And I am already in the color tab, and I have a few clips on my timeline. These clips were shot with different cameras, Red, Blackmagic, and Sony. And also they all look very washed out as they are in log or RAW formats. And I will start from showing you how to simply and effectively set up DaVinci Color Management, and then we'll move to the CSTs. So the way I do it, I go here to my settings, then Color Management, and here we'll focus on the color space and transform section. First, we'll change the color science from DaVinci YRGB to DaVinci YRGB Color Managed. Then we deselect Automatic Color Management as we want to have full control over what we are doing. And also, by the way, I do have a color grading course where I am showing different color grading techniques using this workflow. So if you like my videos, please get it today. It is in a great promotional price. But coming back to our color spaces, now we need to choose the color processing mode. And here I always use HDR DaVinci White Gamut Intermediate. And the color processing mode affects how our color tools behave. And this one is recommended as it has a massive dynamic range and color gamut. And then at the end, we have the output color space. And here we'll go for one of these Rec 709 color spaces, as Rec 709 is a standard output color space for standard SDR screens. And here I also have some info for you that you can screenshot if you need help for your particular case. I also really want to stress that setting up the right output color space is not easy, as we are most of the time delivering for multiple different mediums that affect the color a lot. So we pro colorists, we use calibrated grading monitors. I do also have one, so we can correctly view the output and we can calibrate them to all of these. The Rec 709 scene is a good default for general output if you are not sure what to use. Then we have Rec 709 Gamma 2.2. Then we have Rec 709 Gamma 2.4. And this one is a standard color space for broadcast. We do also have the Rec 709A, and this one is the Apple's version of the Rec 709, so you can use it when you are delivering videos specifically for Apple devices. And I'll also screenshot this one. What should you use? The most common is Rec 709 Gamma 2.4. Then if your videos look too dark on Mac, try Rec 709A. And then for the web content, try Rec 709 Gamma 2.2. And I personally recommend to people who do not have calibrated monitors to use Rec 709A if you are grading on Mac, and Rec 709 Gamma 2.2 if you are grading using PC. So coming back to DaVinci, as I have mentioned, I do have calibrated monitor, so I will pick Rec 709 Gamma 2.4 output. And now let's just hit save and let's see what we've got here. So for now, not much has changed. Our clips still look washed out, as most of the time when we have converted clips to different formats like ProRes, as you can see here, DaVinci Resolve cannot identify the correct input color space, so we need to do it manually. And it is not difficult at all, so let's start with this clip, and this one was filmed with red camera in red log film, and now the input color space is set to Rec 709 scene as a default, which is wrong, so let's change it to red log film, and now our clip is correctly converted to Rec 709, and we can bypass color management here to be able to see the log again. Okay. Then these three clips were shot with Blackmagic Pocket 6K, so let me convert them quickly as well. And we could obviously highlight all of our clips on the timeline and convert all of them in one go if they have the same input color space, but I do it one by one for a reason, as I want you to memorize properly how to do it. And now these three clips were filmed with Sony camera in Sony Lock 3 Cine, so let's convert them quickly as well. And that's it. Now we can start building our node tree over here, and we can start grading. And also, if you are struggling with building effective node trees, please check out my PowerGrade. You can find a link to it below this video as well. And this PowerGrade is designed for DaVinci Resolve's color managed workflow. And there's also a comprehensive instruction on how to use it. But also here, I have left this first clip unchanged because, as you can see here, it is a red raw clip, which means that we don't need to convert it at all, as DaVinci Resolve is able to recognize the raw format. And if we right-click on it, DaVinci Resolve is not even giving us the option to set up the input color space like we did with the previous clips. But what we can do instead is we can go here to the camera raw, and then we can adjust the settings over here. First, I could change the code using from project to clip. So now we can access all of these settings, but I will not be going into details today. If you want to know how to work with raw clips, please get my course, as there's 3 very comprehensive lessons about it. But coming back to our color management, I will go back to my last clip and I will grab a still. So then we'll be able to compare the clip converted using color management and the clip converted using the CST workflow. So now it's time to move to the CST workflow. And we'll start from adjusting our project settings again. So this time, here in the color management tab, we want to change the color science from the color managed to a default DaVinci YRGB non-color managed. Then we will again change the timeline color space from default Rec. 709 to DaVinci Wide Gamut, so we can grade in the widest possible color space. And then my output color space will be Rec. 709 Gamma 2.4 as previously. And now we can see that our clips look log again. They look washed out. So let's start maybe from this last clip again. And the way we set up the CST node workflow properly is that on the first node, we convert our clip from its original color space to our working color space that we have just set up to DaVinci Wide Gamut Intermediate. Then we perform color correction and color grading. And then at the very end, we convert our clip again from DaVinci Wide Gamut Intermediate to Rec. 709. So let me do it now. This first node will be my CST converting this log clip to DaVinci Wide Gamut. And this one will be my CST converting DaVinci Wide Gamut to the Rec. 709. So now let's grab the color space transform from the Effects tab. And let's start from the first one. So I know that my clip was filmed with Sony, and the input color space is Sony S Gamut 3 Cine. Then the input gamma is Sony S Log 3. And now the output color space needs to match my timeline, and it is DaVinci Wide Gamut. And the output gamma is DaVinci Intermediate. Okay, so now let's move to the last node. And here we'll be converting the clip from DaVinci Wide Gamut Intermediate to Rec. 709 Gamma 2.4, as this is my output color space. Okay, and this is our clip before the conversion and after. And now we need to color manage other clips on the timeline the same way, obviously. Some of the clips are also Sony like this one, so I can just copy and paste the node tree from one clip to another. But now let's also compare this clip that was converted to Rec. 709 using DaVinci Resolve CST workflow and the clip that was converted using DaVinci Color Managed. So I can open the gallery and then let's play this still. And here using the wipe mode, we can see if there's any difference. There's no difference at all, as you can see. When I'm wiping, they look exactly the same. So now, let me answer the question, which way of converting clips is better? Well, none of them is better. I would say it completely depends on your preferences. Some colorists do love using the CST workflow because they simply like to see everything on the node tree level. They want to know exactly what's going on over here. But in my opinion, this technique is a bit time consuming, especially when I have multiple clips filmed with different cameras on my timeline. And I prefer to use the color management that also allows me to future-proof the project. So for example, let's go back to the color managed project. Let's say that in the middle of the project, it will turn out that I need to do HDR deliverables of the project too. So now all I need to do is to change the output color space here in the color management tab to the Rec 2020 or whatever I need. But in the case of the CST workflow, I would have to do it separately for each clip. So let me know what you think, and I do really hope you have enjoyed this tutorial. Thank you so much for watching my videos, guys. I hope that you like them. If you do, hit subscribe and don't forget to leave a comment below. See you soon.